David Morrisey, the head of HTS here in Harlow. Relatively new to the job. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well. Very much enjoying the initial stages. Really found a good business and a good organisation. Lots of people that are really keen to do a good job for the company, but also for the residents of Harlow. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been very interesting, and lots of good plans going forward.
And why did you take on this challenge?
Good question. Yeah, no, I think it's for me. I've come from a background of sort of dominantly been working in social housing, both on the housing side, but also on the property management elements as well. And I felt that this was a really good opportunity for me to be able to come in and hopefully bring some of that sort of expertise and knowledge to help the team there really deliver on the key objectives that we've got as a business. And I think it's an exciting time for us. We've got lots of good things that we want to do and things that we want to bring in. So I felt that for me, it was a really good opportunity to come in and make a difference to an organisation.
So do you have like a 1 month plan, 6 month plan, 5 year plan? What sort of plans do you have?
So we're very much working on a 1 year plan for next year or this year, that we're very focused on delivering services and doing those things correctly, getting the basics right, and enhancing all the kind of work that we do on the environment, also on the repairs and maintenance side as well. But we are also, as part of that, looking to the future as well. So making sure that the plans ahead mean that we can, sustain our business and make sure that it's successful. With the teams, I'm always working with them day by day, assessing what's going on, making sure that we are delivering those services as efficiently and as effectively as possible. But we're very much focused on a 1 year strategy to get ourselves into a really good position that we can set the benchmarks and make sure we've got the foundations to progress from that point forward.
I think we explain where we are and what the relevance is. We're here in Shawbridge in a flat, and this is what you would call a void property.
Yes.
So what's your response? If you could explain to me what exactly a void property is, and what's your responsibility here?
So essentially, a void property is normally a property that is owned by the council where the existing tenant has moved out. And so before the next tenant moves in or tenants move in, we undergo a refurbishment of that property to make sure it's up to the required standard. So that's essentially what we're doing with the voids. Really what we're trying to make sure is that we've got this property fully habitable and in a condition that someone coming in can go, yeah, absolutely, everything that I need is here. And it's at a level that will ensure that person's obviously safe and secure, but also a nice environment for them to live in as well.
Because one of the things that aggravates people in Harlow when they see a place, a property, thinking, how long? My daughter and her children are living with us now for 2 years, and there's a property empty for a long time, and your responsibility is to get the turnover. What's your targets?
So we're aiming to turn around properties within a period of around 28 days, and we're exceeding that target as well. We want to do it as quickly as possible, but because of that reason, that people are obviously looking for properties and they need to move into it. But also, I think it just ensures that the council can increase their revenue and make sure that they've got a property that is adding value to them as well. So we're very much focused on speeding up that turnaround, but obviously we have to do it in a way that's, make sure the property is safe and secure as well.
I'm not your cheerleader, but but sometimes I feel over the last year I've seen a lot more of HTS out and about 7 days a week. Is that a fair reflection?
Not quite 7 days a week, but certainly out there much more than we have been in the past. And I think that is absolutely key for us, is that we have to ensure that we're delivering our services in the most efficient and effective way. But part of that is being out and making sure that the work's getting done. So we are very much looking at how we can utilise the resources that we have available to us to deliver those services as effectively as we possibly can. And that, you're right, is about being out and making sure that we're out doing the repairs and looking after the environmental services as best we can.
The Labour leader, who's a shadow, the leader in the council, put a question in last week, and it's on our site, about how much council been paying for outside contractors to come in. It seemed a very big bill, didn't it?
I think, using contractors, most maintenance providers or property services companies would have that available to them. I think it's very much about meeting the demand that's placed upon you. So we obviously have a set workforce that we have available to us, and we manage that workforce to deliver for those repairs and maintenance works that we need to do. If the demand is greater, then it doesn't make any other sense than to bring in some subcontractors to help us deliver on those requirements. So, and obviously they're vetted, we make sure that they deliver services as efficiently and effectively as we would. Longer term, we'll always probably have to have subcontractors available to us, because I think, as I say, that's normal in the business that we're in. However, obviously we try and manage that as efficiently and as effectively as possible, and always try and look to utilise our resources, the team at HTS. So, quick answer is yes, money is spent on subcontractors, but it's very much built on, this is the level of demand that we have, that we as a business can fulfil. There'll always be a requirement potentially for us to use other providers.
Who do you report back to?
Obviously I report into the chair, and the board is my main direct line management, but I also work very closely with the leader of the council, and obviously the chief executive of the council as well. So I'm very much working with those two in terms of where we're going and what we're doing in terms of meeting our services, but predominantly I report into the chair.
And one thing we've focused on over the last few years with HTS is the apprenticeship scheme. Apprenticeships are really important in that all the areas that HTS employ, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're very much committed to the apprenticeship programme. We are looking, as part of our strategy for next year, 24-25, how we can utilise apprenticeships within the business. I think that's always going to be our aim, and certainly we're not going to be deterred from doing that.
I find this part of the job, getting out there, meeting your employees, is this a one-off, David, or will I see you around about more?
Well, I absolutely feel that fundamental for me as the managing director is to be out and visiting the teams, making sure that they can see me as someone that they can talk to, and either give me some really good ideas that they think that we could run our business better, or to highlight any issues that they've got. So definitely not a one-off. I actually have a plan where I'll be out at least once or twice a week with someone on a van, as we call them, or out doing the environmental services side. So that's my plan going forward, is to make sure that I'm available wherever feasible to meet the teams and be out seeing what's going on in the real world.